Hello everyone, you all are welcome back to the channel. To my subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you. And to the new ones that just clicked on this channel, my name is Lillian and I share anything related to kids clothing. So click on the subscribe button if this is your vibe. And on this video, we'll be making this beautiful collar ball gown. This is a very beautiful dress. The camera wasn't even doing justice to it. I made it with 2 yards of Scuba fabric for a 4-year-old, both the pleats and the upper part. So if this is what you want to learn or you are liking what you're seeing, just stay and watch through to the end. Let's get started. So I'll be using a basic bodice pattern for a 4-year-old. I have video of how to make a basic bodice pattern on this channel. So I will leave the link on the description box and on the comment section. Just check through my videos, you will get how to draft a basic bodice pattern. I've drafted my front and my back. The shoulder I used was 10 inches and the neck width I used for both the front and the back was 2 inches. My back piece, my neck width was 2 inches and my neck depth was half an inch, and I have a zipper allowance of 1 inch. So the first space I left was my zipper allowance of 1 inch. If you are using 1.5, you leave 1.5 inches. 2 inches neck width and half inch neck depth. If I am making for a normal dress, I will use 2.25 inches neck width and 1 inch neck depth. But this is a built-up neckline. I want it to be high. So this back pattern, I'll just add half an inch for my shoulder joining allowance, and this back pattern is complete. You don't need to do any other thing to it. And for the side, I will add the allowance that I'll be using to sew it at the side when I'm cutting on my fabric, and at the down part as well, I'll add my joining allowance to the skirt part. So this back pattern is pretty simple. Just draft your back pattern and add your allowances. And for the front, if you notice, I left about 4 inches upwards for my collar. I want to draft my collar there. What you will do is that you will measure your back neckline included with the half inch joining allowance. What I have there was 2.75 and I'll add it up on that front part. So 2.75. My front neckline, there was no neck depth, it's just the neck width of 2 inches. So you have to mark that 2.75 upwards. If you have this ruler, it will be very easy for you. Just place the L shape on the shoulder slant. That is, you will get angle 90. You are not meant to mark it straight. You are meant to mark it slanty because this is a collar. But if you do not have this L shape ruler, just mark a straight line up. Just a straight line up, and from that straight line, you measure in half an inch for the angle 90. This is not up to angle 90, this is actually angle 45. You will not mark it up to 1 inch so that the neckline will not sway back too much, because it's built up neckline is meant to come up and stand at the back of the neck. So if you do not have this ruler, mark it straight and come in by half an inch, or at most 3/4 of an inch. Let it not be up to 1 inch. If you are making it up to 1 inch, it is when you are making about your jacket or so. But this, I don't want the back to be open, so I'll just add my 2.75 on that line, and from there you determine the width of your collar. I want 1.5 from the width of my collar. You can make yours 2 inches, but I don't want it to be that wide, so I'll just add 1.5 outward, and I will connect the lines. Again, if you have this ruler, it will be very easy for you to get angle 45 again by just placing the ruler, the L shape on that point at the point of 2.75, and you will mark it straight. And you will see that the line is slanted. It's not meant to be straight. But if you do not have the ruler, just measure that 2.75 on the second line and add half an inch, about half an inch or 3/4 of an inch. This second line is meant to be longer than the first one, so when you mark it, when you join the two of them together, it will be slanty. So this is how I got my collar. It's built up collar neckline. Both of them are together, they are cut together. So I will move on to marking my chest line. I'll just mark it with a pencil. With this neckline, you can determine your neck depth for the front. You can bring your neck depth down to the to the chest line rather. You can make it as low as chest line, but I don't want it to be too exposed, so I just came down by 4.5 or 5 inches neck depth. It should not be anything less than 4 inches, so that there will be enough opening. So I just made mine 4.5. You can also make 5, and you connect either with a V, a sharp V, or a straight line, or a curvy V. So I'm just trying to make mine curvy. You can use a sharp side of the ruler to connect yours. So I later connected mine to the 4.5, or to 5 inches is still okay. So the length of this upper part is 10 inches. And the next thing is for me to mark my princess tie line. This dress has a princess tie line. It does not have a princess. It's not that, because we did not take that. So I'll just, from the chest line, I will mark 2.5 inches on the chest line and on the waistline as well, and I'll connect it into a straight line. Then on the armhole, you will mark either 2 inches or 2.5. I marked 2.5, but I ended up using 2 inches. So you just place your ruler like so and connect it like a princess style line. If you are making for an adult, or you are taking your dart, you have to go outside by about ½ inch or 1 inch, so that your fabric will not be shortened when you are joining it. But here I am not taking any dart, so there was no need for me to extend mine outwards and connect back to the armhole. So this is how I did mine, and I'll go ahead and cut this fabric. I did not take that. I did the princess style line is just for style, so I'll just cut through the whole markings, and my front part and my back part is ready. So I'll just label it as my side front, and I'll cut my back part as well. So all my allowances will be added on my fabric, except for the back part, which I have already added at the shoulder and my zipper allowance. I will use it to cut my fabric, adding all the allowances where necessary. At the shoulder part, at the collar area, at my side part, and at my down part. I will not be adding at the armhole part. So right now I've added all my allowances on my fabric. For the back, at the side part 1 inch, at the down part ½ inch. At the shoulder part, I've already added it on my pattern. Then on the neckline, I did not add any joining allowance. I did not, and my zipper allowance as well has been added. So I'll just split it into 2, and this back part will be into 2. You can as well cut it into 4 places, but I was thinking my fabric will not be enough. That was why I cut into 2. So for the front, I will add ½ inch at the front area, ½ inch at the princess tie area, and 1 inch at the collar area for my zipper allowance. That 1 inch up represents the 1 inch zipper allowance I'll be having, because those two will be joined together at the back. At the armhole, I did not add any allowance. I added at the shoulder. For the side front as well, I added by the side 1 inch, ½ inch on the princess tie line, ½ inch downwards, and on the armhole I did not add. So I'll just label that my front is 4 pieces, my side front is 4 pieces. My back part, if you can make yours 4 pieces if you want a neater finishing. I was hoping that my 2 yards of fabric will not be enough for my pleats, my skirts. I cut a full circle skirt pleat for this, so that was why I decided to manage and cut just 2 pieces. So I'll just take off all my pins and mark on the wrong side to locate both the back and the front of this fabric. And in case you are wondering why I did not add any joining allowance to my armhole side, while I was cutting the fabric, my shoulder was 10 inches. If you are making a sleeveless dress, it's advisable to remove about 1 inch or 2 inches from your shoulder width, but I just used mine as 10 inches, hoping to use the ½ inch that I was supposed to remove. That is half inch on both sides. I was supposed to remove it, but I just used it like that so that I'll be able to turn my armhole. But if you had removed yours before drafting on your pattern, please, while you are cutting on your fabric, add that joining allowance so that you'll be able to turn your armhole. I hope you understand. So I will open it up and show you how I will be joining it. This is the front part, the center front. I have 4 pieces. I will join 2 together, and make sure you notch where your neckline will stop. So mine was stopped at 4.5 inches. I will mark it, and from that place downwards I will sew ½ inch to the waistline. I'll repeat the same thing on the second part. From your neckline where you notched, you sew half an inch, or if you are joining with quarter of an inch, make sure the allowance you are adding is quarter of an inch. So when I sew it like this, I will bring the side front and join it the way we normally join our princess dart clothes. So because I did not add any dart here, I will not struggle with it. I will just add it seamlessly, and as you can see, I was not short of any fabric, so it was just the same length because there was no dart added to it. I will repeat the same thing to the second part, and I'll iron it open. So when I'm done sewing and ironing it, this is what it looks like. Make sure you iron at every point in time so that your work will come out neat. So I will bring one piece and bring the back piece and join the shoulders together. If I had 4 pieces, I will join 2 back pieces to one of the front and the other to the other. But since I have just one back piece, I will place the shoulders together. Just pin up the shoulder together. Join the shoulder first so that it will not be difficult for you to join this neckline. When we are done joining the shoulder, we will notch it, then we'll continue with joining the neckline. So remember the 2.75 we added at our front, it will match the neckline. So join the shoulder, pin it up and sew the whole of that back shoulder. If you are sewing it, make sure you do not stop at that place that the front started from. Make sure you finish the whole shoulder point of the back. Sew it. Do the same thing to the second part. So as you can see, I've sewn my shoulder, and you can see that I went in half inch on the front part. Like you sew it and go in half inch so that when you notch it, I'll give this place a notch. When I notch it, I'll be able to continue my sewing. I'll join my back neckline to my front neckline. So you don't just stop your sewing when you get to the front part. Sew it in half inch into the front neckline. So when you notch, it will be easy for you to continue your sewing. Then I'll just pin it up and just sew along and finish the sewing. So if you don't notch, you will struggle with sewing it all through. So what I normally do is that I just sew my shoulder point. Even for my jackets, I sew my shoulder points first, notch and continue, especially cut together jacket or any cut together collar clothes. So just sew it and you notch. When I am done with that, this is how it came out. You see, you just sew and swing in into the other one that you've sewn. So this is how it came out already, and you can give it a press. If you have your second part of the back, do the same thing on the second part, but I do not have, so I'll just use this one and place on the main. I'm using this one as lining now. I just lining the inside, the front part only. I'll place it the neckline together, and I'll sew the neckline. From the zipper allowance, you have to leave 1 inch zipper allowance and sew it the V neckline through to the other side. So if you have your back neckline, you still have to start at that 1 inch zipper allowance. Even when you have joined the shoulder of your lining, start from that 1 inch zipper allowance, just sew it through and stop at the other zipper allowance so that you'll be able to join your zipper neatly. Okay, and when you are done sewing, you can top stitch towards the lining one. When you flip over, you top stitch. Make sure you notch your v-neck area. Okay, like I've sewn mine and notch, so I'll top stitch towards my front lining, which is the only lining I have, and this is what I will have. This top stitching will make it relax very well, or you use a hemming gun to press it down. Okay, so because I do not have a lining for my inner part, for the back part, as you can see, my lining for the front piece is flying away. What do? I'll just to tack it together with the shoulder. I'll just place the shoulder together and the one I have sewn already, and I'll join it exactly the way I joined the one I'm using as my outer fabric. When I join it, I'll give it a notch at that L shape as well. Make sure you are leaving 1 inch open at the zipper side area. so that you'll be able to join your zipper neatly. If you have your back part, just like remember, like I said, you must have joined it the way you join your outer fabric. But since I don't have, and if you are doing yours like this, join it together at your shoulder and at your neckline. Give it a notch at that L shape and make sure to leave 1 inch opening for your zipper. And when you are done doing that, this is what you will come up with. The neckline is already formed, beautifully formed, and is a high collar. And this is the front line, the front neckline, which swings into the back neckline. So this is what we will be achieving. So the next step I'll be taking is to finish up my armhole with a bias trimming. I cut out a bias with the Scuba because my back part is just one. If I had two, then I'll just sew it neatly the way we normally do. Then after that, we'll have to join it side by side. If yours is two pieces at the back, join the lining to the lining, the outer fabric to the outer fabric. But here I'll be joining the outer fabric to the outer fabric, and I will use that inner lining to cover it. At least let's have some sort of neat finishing inside. When you are done joining your front back and your outer back part together, you flip the inner parts using the front part. You flip it over and cover it just the way you are seeing me doing, and at the end of the day we'll have some sort of neat finishing for the inside. Okay, so join front side back side together, then use the inner lining for the front and switch it and flip it over and join it exactly the same way you join your main fabric. And this is what we'll have. As you can see, this is the inside, which is very clean, and the outside as well, which is very clean by the side. So this upper part will be joined to the skirt part. You measure your waist length and you join it, use it to cut your skirt part. For this skirt part, I've already dropped a very detailed video on how to calculate and cut your bust pleat. I will leave the link on the description and on the comment section. So just click on the link to watch exactly how I made it and you get it perfectly. So I'll just join it together to the skirt part, and this dress will be almost ready. So if you are having difficulties cutting a box pleat, click on the comment section or the description box. You will see a link to this video, and when I join it together, this is what I have. The next is just to add my zipper at the back. To add your zipper to the fabric, open up that 1 inch that you didn't sew together. That collar was into two, but you just stopped sewing it 1 inch before the end. Then you add your zipper to one part of it through to 4 inches below the waistline. You measure in 4 inches below the waistline and you add it to that point. Then from that 4 inches you close down, and for the neckline, when you are done, you flip over that 1 inch onto the one you've added your zipper and you stitch it the same way you stitch. I have a video also of how to attach a zipper to dress on this channel. Please kindly watch it out. So for the bow, I will just be making a quick one here. I have should I say a sphere. This is not really a circle, of 11 inches by 9 inches, and this one that looks like a hand fan was 10 inches length by 5 inches, the area that looks like an oval. So I just cut two pieces each for the two of them, and then when I place them together, I'll have to sew all around with 1/2 inch. Then for this that looks like a hand fan, I'll sew all around but leaving an opening at that part that I will use to turn it. So when I was done sewing, I had to trim off the excess fabric and give it a notch so that when I turn outside, it will relax. I don't want to iron this thing so that the puffiness will not fall. This is a Scuba fabric, and when I place much iron on it, it might seem to become very flat. So I'll just open up one side. I'll just open up one side of the big one, give the whole edges a notch, then I'll bring it inside out from that opening I made on one side. So look at how it looks when I turn it inside out, and I can just easily make it as a bow. For this one as well, from that opening I left, I'll turn it inside out, but before that I'll give it a notch all around. Turning it was really a struggle, but I just had to take my time and turn it. Just take your time because the opening for mine was about just 1 inch, so it was giving me a hard time, but I actually did it, so you can do it. When you are done, you will have something like this. So you can choose to iron, but I didn't iron mine. So I'll just make this like a bow and use this one to wrap it all around. This is the only way I could think of how to make this bow. So if you just have a better way of making it, please go ahead with your method. I'll just wrap it all around and use my needle and thread to stitch this down, and this bow will be ready to be attached to the dress we just completed. So I think it looks exactly like what we'll have on the thumbnail. So when I bring my finished dress, I'll just attach it at the middle point. I'll use my needle and thread as well, but here I'm just using my pin to show you how it will look like. I will attach it neatly so that the thread will not be showing. And this is our finished dress. Do you like this? As you can see, the neckline was so perfect. It wasn't too deep and it was not opening at the back. It wasn't swaying outward, like it wasn't going outward. It just perfect, and the pleats, the dress itself, the neckline, everything just came out good. So if you've watched up to this point, I would really want to say a big thank you, and kindly click on that subscribe button if you've not. Also click on your bell icon so that anytime I drop any tutorial, you'll be the first to be notified. And please make sure you give this video a like. Just click on that like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It just makes my engagement to increase. Click on it, comment, subscribe, share to your family and friends so that they will see this video. Thank you once again, and bye.